basically either to build a new PC or to upgrade. What's the viable solution for this particular PC? And so the PC in question is this Zebronics. It's a custom build, but somehow the user thought it's a OEM build, but it's okay. Maybe he just bought a build PC, so he thought that, but no bro, this is a proper custom build PC. So he didn't say PSU, so it's question mark. And for graphic cards, well, it's a integrated graphic card, no dedicated graphic card, and 8 gigs of RAM and i3 4th gen CPU. So he asked what should be his next action. So his next action is pretty limited because the i5 4th gen is a Haswell architecture, and from what I gathered, like it's on 1150 socket, and the problem is many of the motherboard don't support upgradability path for this CPU. So in theory you can go it, but most of the motherboard just don't support it. So this is the thing. So if you want to upgrade safely, you can go on i5 4th gen as I have listed 1460, and any graphic card is better than no graphic card. But if you are going to upgrade, try to get like RX 550. If it's in used, even better, because then you are getting it in a cheaper price, and when you want to build a new thing, you can just sell this old build altogether. And RAM 8GB is currently fine. If you want to upgrade, you can go to 16. And power supply, I don't know what you have, but if you are going for a dedicated graphic card, you have to change your power supply, as I can imagine it has a Zebronics power supply, which I totally don't recommend RX 660 or RX 550 running on it. And he said HDD, bro, HDD is only for storing things, not for like primary boot drive. Get a SATA SSD. It doesn't matter if it's like EVM or anything. Get a boot SSD. It will make your life way easier and gain you some FPS. So that was upgradability part. Then what he can do even better, new build. So this is the build that is focused on like budget. Like if you have like really tight budget, then this is the build, and this builds is the build that offers the most upgradability path, hence the build I chose. So Ryzen 3 3200G, it's a decent processor. It has dedicated Vega graphics, so that will be a really help for you. And the benefit of having this GPU is when you have money, you can just slot a graphic card in it. You don't need to buy immediately. And the other thing is like get some decent motherboard, at least B450M from Gigabyte. Don't go for like cheaper motherboard, because then you won't be able to utilize this completely. If you want to have a good experience, go for a better motherboard, like at least B450M, and 8 gigs of RAM or 16 gigs of RAM, anything that your budget allows, but they should be in dual channel. Dual channel is the must. Single channel is a taboo in AMD, and especially if you are putting a RAM in a single channel, you are basically killing it. So storage again depends on your budget, but at least get 250 or 240 gig boot SSD. Power supply, bro, again power supply, I won't recommend you cheap out. Go for like Cooler Master V3 or like Corsair power supplies. Again you have to calculate your whole wattage on, like you can go to like Cooler Master or any power supply vendor. They have like a TDP chart, or you can just type in GPT. You will get how much wattage you want, and go for something like if it's 450 total, go for 550. That's like safe options. Now coming to the build that is for like if you have money and you can spend. So this is the build. It's based on Ryzen 5600 or 5600X. In the time of making this video, actually 5600 and 5600X have only like 60 or 70 rupees difference on Amazon, so I am including both of them. And again, for motherboard and power supply, go for like the best possible that allowed in budget, because motherboard is like it will allow you to upgrade on future CPUs, especially on AMD, where you have a plethora of like upgrade options, and power supply will support that upgrade and it will make sure that your CPU doesn't turn into IDE and catches fire. So yeah, my motherboard recommendation for this CPUs is like Aorus Elite B55M and B55M DS3H. Both are from Gigabyte because I found like they are cheaper and they offer better options when it comes to like price to performance based on Amazon listing, I am saying. And for RAM, bro, go at least 16, and if 32 it's better, but at least 16, because if you are buying X series, then especially 32, don't go for 16 because overclocking and all. And storage, yeah, if you are willing to spend this much, go at least 500 GB, and this time go with a name brand like Crucial or WD, so on and so forth. 1 TB is better, but at least 500 GB for at least boot SSD is minimum. And for power supply, again, I won't recommend you cheap out, like go at least for Cooler Master, like here 750 watt V3 or the Corsair variant. Yeah, don't cheap out on power supply again. And for graphic card, here we have like few options. First is RX 660. This is the cheapest 8 gig graphic card you can get like for performance. And next comes 3060. It's costlier than RX 660, but some people just prefer the 3060. So yeah, you also have that option. It's like 4,000 expensive than 660. And next is RX 7600 XT. 7600 XT is a way powerful graphic card. It can play any game in 1440p, but the thing is you have to buy in used market. Now how we will get it, that depends on you, but don't buy it as a new, because then it's way more overpriced. If you are going to buy that new, you might just go with a 4060. Coming on to that, you can also see I have listed 4060, but I have listed it as used. So here is the thing, if you are going for like 3060 or 4060 or RX 7600 XT, if possible go for like older variant, because then you can get cheap. But if you want to go with a new one, then RX 6600 is a option always. And next, coming to like case, bro, I don't have any recommendations for case. You can buy anything you want, because personally I made a big blunder in case, so no opinion. You can go with anyone, but if you are going for like a 5600 build or 5000 series build, I would highly recommend you have a dedicated cooler. Okay, here is a Cooler Master Hyper Black 212 cooler that I am recommending. It's an air cooler, it's not a AIO, because again AIO are expensive, but at least go for a air cooler. Don't think like the stock cooler will be able to cool. No, when you are gaming, going for a air cooler or AIO is the better option, especially when you don't have AC or your. So yeah, with that we will meet you in the next video. If you are still here, consider like, subscribe, share. Anyway, they are free now, and it will support me a ton. So yeah, bye.